Newton's first law of motion. A toy cart being pulled with a string stops as soon as the string breaks. Based on such daily life experiences, Aristotle suggested that an external force is required to keep the body in motion. Galileo, another famous physicist, studied the motion of bodies on a smooth double inclined plane. When a ball is released from one side of the double inclined plane, it rises up to the same height on the other side. On changing the slope of the second plane, the ball was again observed to rise up to the same height as before, though it covered a larger distance in the second case. Finally, when the second plane becomes horizontal and the ball is released from the same height, it travelled up to infinity. Galileo thus concluded that if a body is in uniform motion on a smooth surface, it continues to move without any external force. Aristotle had studied the motion on a rough surface and did not consider the force of friction and hence the fallacy. Based on Galileo's conclusion, Newton formulated his first law of motion. When the driver of a bus suddenly applies the brakes, the lower part of the girl's body, which is in contact with the moving bus, stops immediately, but the upper part continues to be in a state of motion due to inertia, and she gets a jerk in the forward direction. Thus, a body resists any change in its state of motion. When the signal turns green and the driver again starts the bus, the lower portion of the body shares the motion of the bus, but the upper part tends to remain in rest, and the girl gets a jerk in the backward direction. Thus, a body resists any change in its state of rest. Combining the two observations, we get Newton's first law of motion. Every body resists a change in its state of rest or of uniform motion in a straight line, unless acted upon by an external force. When the tree is shaken, its branches move slightly, but the fruits and leaves, which remain at rest, get detached from it. Also, the carpet is set in motion when beaten by a stick, but the dust particles that were at rest get detached from the carpet.